Friends, I am the river Yamuna. You might have heard of me. I am one of the tributaries of the Ganga, which is the longest river in India. I originate from the Yamunotri in Uttarakhand. Delhi is one of the important cities on my way. The Qutub Minar, the Iron Pillar of Mehrauli, the Juma Masjid, the Red Fort, the India Gate, and many such majestic historical monuments can be found here. Delhi has witnessed the rise and the fall of several dynasties.
Hello students, have you listened to the story of Yamuna? Is it interesting? Yes, it is interesting. What do you learn from that story? Yamuna river is one of the main river in India, but it is the longest tributary of the great Ganga. Students, I will ask one question. Where does this Yamuna river originate? Yes, it is from Yamunotri, the great lake in Uttarakhand. It's a beautiful lake. From there, Yamuna originates and slowly moves down and flows through the plains of northern India. At last, it reaches Allahabad. On the way, the river touches a lot of historical places. One of the main places is Panipat. You will learn a lot about Panipat in the coming classes. From there, Yamuna moved towards the great capital of India. What is that? It is Delhi. We will learn a lot about Delhi in this class. Delhi has a great history to tell us. Actually, Delhi was built a long ago. I think you already heard about the epic story of Mahabharata. Have you heard it? Yes, you heard it. Have you heard about the Kurukshetra battle? The battle between the great Pandavas and the Kauravas? Yes, you heard it. You might have heard that story from your mother or from your father or from some other else. It's a great battle. Battle between Kauravas and the Pandavas. Hey, I will ask one more question. Who won the battle? Yes, it is Pandavas. After the battle, Pandavas went on to build a new capital. They built a new capital near Hastinapuri. That capital is called Indraprastha. Later, that name changed to Delhi. Yes, Delhi has a lot to tell us. Today, we are going to learn the history of Delhi from the 8th century for all the way to the 18th century. A long period, about 1000 years story we are going to learn. That period is called medieval period of India. In Malayalam it is called Madhya Kalaghatta. It's a period that defines the contemporary India. In that period, a lot of emperors built their empire from Delhi. Actually, that story starts from AD 736. At that year, Rajaputs from Rajasthan conquered Delhi and they started to rule from Delhi. And they built their empire from Delhi. After their period, that means after AD 1196, new rulers came there. After the fall of each empire, the new rulers almost destroyed Delhi and they built new palaces, new constructions everywhere in Delhi. That means destruction of Delhi and construction of Delhi happens along the way from the 11th century to the 18th century. It's a huge story. A lot of people from different parts of the world try to attack Delhi. Why? Why all the rulers select Delhi as their capital? Does Delhi have any specialities? Yes, Delhi has some specialities. Now, what is that speciality? The first speciality is the presence of Aravalli mountain. That means on the western side of Delhi, we can see a huge mountain range that is called Aravalli mountain. If enemies are coming from the western side towards Delhi. In between the enemy and the capital of Delhi, there lies the beautiful Aravalli mountain. It actually protects our capital Delhi. It is not easy for the people to attack Delhi through Aravalli mountain. It actually acts like a fort. At the same time, it helps the rulers to get enough stones and materials to build their buildings, their construction, their offices, etc. in Delhi. Both way, Aravalli mountain is good for the rulers. At the same time, the presence of Yamuna river helps the ruler to get plenty of water to the people of Delhi. Water is there, protection is there, and the materials for the construction is there. These three things help the rulers to build their capital in Delhi. So it made it convenient for those rulers to rule their entire empire from Delhi. So, a lot of growing empires set their eyes on Delhi. To conquer Delhi means, in their eyes, it is actually conquering the entire world. To rule from Delhi means it is the ultimate goal for them. So all the guys from the Middle East or from Southeast Asia, that is Genghis Khan like persons, all came to Delhi to conquer it and rule it. So from now onwards, you are going to hear a lot from Delhi as the history unfolds. Okay? We can start from here. Okay? Are you interested in history? Then I will give you some works. First, you have to write down the places that touches Yamuna river. Starting from Yamunotri to Allahabad. Okay? That is the first work. Second work, you have to find out the specialities that helped Delhi to become the capital of a lot of empires. Okay, 2 questions. Write down the question and find out the answers and write it on your notebook. After that, you just take a photo and WhatsApp me that answer. I will check all those answers and I will grade your work. Okay, it's B.S. Chandramohan, your social science teacher, signing off.